What's up guys, Noah Quizzy here, and today I am bringing you guys my MLB redesign. This is part 1 of 2. I decided to split the National League and American League. So up first we have the National League, and this video is a little late because opening day just happened and it was probably going to take me 2 weeks to edit or whatever. But baseball season's here. I'm pretty excited about it. I always get excited for baseball until the Phillies do Phillies things. But I'm still in the mood, so let's go ahead and talk about my jersey redesigns for every National League team. By the way, all these are designed in Photoshop using mock-up templates from my own personal store called TemplateFC.com. We have a bunch of mock-ups, templates, patterns that you can use for designing sports jerseys. So if you're interested, check it out. You can also use a free website if you don't have Photoshop, but let's go ahead and get started. The Arizona Diamondbacks have pretty good uniforms, but I really like them using more red than black. Their current uniforms feature mainly black, and I kind of reverted back to the red text and red accents mainly. I've also added that triangular pattern from their A logo to the sleeve trim and the collar trim, and it's also on the socks and most of the jerseys in this set. The road jersey is the same setup, but the hat is actually reversed. Along with the secondary logo, the hat is red instead of black, which is a nice little reverse from the home to the road. Their first alternate is a home throwback alternate back to the beautiful purple and teal colors, and I was tempted to make these their main colors, but the red and tan is just more befitting of a team from Arizona, but I had to use these colors in a few uniforms as well. But this color combo is just so good. Then we'll go to the other jersey with this color combo, which is a purple jersey, and this features a little bit of a different sleeve trim with that triangular pattern. It's a little thicker, includes more of the teal. This black alternate then features the alternate logo on the hat and the A logo on the chest, and coming down from the A logo is that triangular pattern from the sleeves again, and I thought this was another unique way to incorporate that that style or that pattern. Finally, for Arizona, we have 2 red jerseys, a home and a road, and they're pretty different. So this home one features that pattern again from the shoulders down the sleeves. And also this features a kind of a reflective goldish tan on the numbers and text on the chest, which I think is pretty cool, and this is also featured on the road version. And I also included some snakeskin patterning throughout this jersey. And the road alternate red is kind of a red and black jersey. It's actually a gradient, similar to what the Falcons came out with in their redesign, but I think this one's a little better. I used my own script font for the text logo rather than one of their actual logos. I'm not sure what the font was, but I think it looks pretty cool and it's pretty unique. And I think the gradient from black to red looks really nice for Arizona. I think they could pull off a gradient look. And it's not your traditional gradient. It actually has a nice like patterning to it, like a wave pattern, which I thought was pretty cool. Major League Baseball features a lot of teams that wear navy and a lot of teams that wear red and blue. So for the teams with those color schemes, I tried to do something different for a few of them, and the Braves are one of those cases. So for the Braves, I decided to lighten up the blue a little bit, kind of more similar to what they used to wear, like the Hank Aaron era, that lighter blue, although it's not quite that royal and it's not that vibrant, I suppose. And I also decided to bring in more yellow, which is a part of their logo, because I thought that'd be an interesting touch to their uniforms. Now the home uniform features a little bit of the yellow, not too much, but the road brings in a little bit more. You can see it on the chest logo and the hat logo. But the rest of the setup is nothing too crazy. It's similar to what they currently have. If we move on to their home alternate, we have a throwback alternate with the lighter blue, no yellow, just the red. And I really love this throwback and this Braves look, so I didn't alter it too much. You got the blue sleeves with those alternate logos there and the classic lowercase a on the hat, which I love, and it's pretty much a straight up throwback jersey. The alternate red jersey then is like a blend of 2 different eras. So you have the classic logos on the chest and the sleeves, the logos we just used on the alternate home. And then we have that on like the red modern cut and styled jersey. So it's like a blend of those 2 eras, like the current era and the throwback, which I think is a really fresh look. For the road blue, we have the darker blue, more similar to what they currently use, kind of like a navy. And we also incorporated all the colors. We have the red, we have the yellow, and we have other shades of blue too. And you can see we have like a graffiti look going on with some of like these paint designs behind the text logo, which the text logo in this case is a alternate script font, not one of their logos. And this is just a super interesting jersey. It's a lot different from your traditional baseball jersey designs, which I like. The final jersey for the Braves is a road alternate, and this one features the A logo on the chest because I really like that design since we used it for the home blue. I also was thinking that maybe we make this one a darker blue again too, because I think that looks really nice, and it just gives them different options for different styling. which would be really cool in real life if you had all these different options. The Cubs have a pretty iconic jersey design, so I didn't really touch the home, but I did add the Chicago flag as a design to the socks, and I put the flag on the sleeve as well. And this is going to be a common thing that I use in their design. For the road jersey, I went with thicker trim on the sleeves and collar, and I think that looks really good. I like thicker trim in a baseball jersey, so you will see me use that a little bit in this whole project. I also went with their alternate Chicago font because I think it looks better than their standard road font that they use currently. The first alternate I did was a pinstriped powder blue jersey because I think this would look so good for Chicago. Obviously, the Chicago flag has that light blue in it, so I think it's really fitting for them to have a jersey like this, and it'd be very unique with the pinstripes that are the royal blue. And I know powder blue jerseys are kind of overdone nowadays, but I think the Cubs could really pull it off even though they've historically not had one. And my blue isn't really a powder blue form here. It's more of just like a light baby blue. So they could do something a little different with the color so it's not the same as everyone else's. I like the different blues so much that I thought I would give them a home alternate blue that is also a bit lighter, but not exactly the same as that powder blue jersey. It's just kind of a slightly lighter blue than their normal royal blue. And the logo on the chest actually is their alternate logo with the Chicago flag to create like one big chest piece that I think looks really nice and is very unique. And I also use that in the road alternate, which is a similar setup but uses the main logo on the chest, and it features the same design aspects as the road jersey does, so it's not too crazily different, just a different chest logo, but I think it's a really neat look. And finally, we have the alternate royal blue, your traditional blue, and this could be the home or road jersey. I have it set up here as a road jersey, but it features that striping down the shoulders again, and for this one I included paw prints on that sleeve stripe. Obviously for the Cubs, I thought that'd be like a unique feature for them. I added a bit of a design pattern in the background based on Marseille soccer jersey, if you guys are familiar, because it fit into that C logo really nicely. I thought it'd be a cool little subtle pattern. So I actually have two Reds home jerseys, and I've been debating about which one should be the actual home and which one should be the alternate home. I have this pinstripe one with their alternate script text logo and the red sleeves, and also this more traditional one that is more similar to what they currently have with the thicker sleeve trim that they used to wear back in the day. And I really like both of these jerseys. I think this one with the pinstripes looks a lot better. I think the red sleeves distinguish it from, let's say, a Phillies jersey, and I absolutely love it. Now, I think they wore a jersey similar to this with black sleeves back in the day, or not back in the day, like Ken Griffey Jr. era. Obviously, that didn't have this logo on the front, but I think this setup is really good and would be a great jersey. So I think I'm going to say this is going to be the home, and this solid white one will be the alternate home. But you guys let me know down in the comments which one you like better. We have the same situation when it comes to the road jersey. We have this road alt with the similar setup to the solid white. Without the chest trim, it's just the sleeve and collar trim. And then we have the gray pinstripe road one. So again, I'm going to say this is the main road, and then we have the solid gray as the alternate road. Again, let me know which ones you guys like best. I like them all a lot, so I'm really not sure. I'm a big fan of pinstripes, so I'm going to lean in that favor. We actually have 3 red alternate jerseys for them then. This first one is the home alt, and you can see this is like a reverse of their of this one. Just the top is reversed with red and white, as you can see. And then we have the road alternate, which features the gray text, and the text and number are like a bit of a reflective material, similar to what we did with Arizona. And this also has a nice little pattern in the background, which I thought was a pretty unique little thing that they could do. And this wouldn't really be a pattern, it'd just be like a different texture ideally, but I thought it looked really nice, especially with the gray. And then finally we have an all red jersey. And now this is something that I've done for a few of these teams, is have all one colored jersey, because I think it's something major league teams should do more. College teams do it, Japanese teams do it, Chinese teams do it, Korean teams, they all seem to have teams with all solid colored jerseys. And in Major League Baseball, teams only do it if they're wearing powder blue, and then the Pirates will sometimes wear black pants with a yellow top, and some other teams will wear throwbacks, but teams really don't wear all one color uniforms. So I went with the red one here. I did go for a bit of a gradient on this one. Now realistically, I think this would be more subtler. The red wouldn't be as dark, so maybe we would be more like this, in actuality, so it'd be a more subtle, but I think that like slight gradient would be cool effect for something like this. But overall, I just want them to have an all red jersey, and I think this one would be really cool. For a lot of teams in this project, I try to stray away from the use of black, like for the hat and the undershirt and like majority of the jersey, to like their team color. So for Arizona, I reverted back to the red. Miami later on, I'll revert to their colors, and Colorado here, I go to the purple. Now, there's nothing wrong with the black, it still looks good, but I just think it'd be interesting to have more color in jerseys. So for the Rockies, we have the purple pinstripes and purple accents everywhere, along with the purple hat. I also added part of their mountain logo to the sleeves and to the socks. And for the road jersey, we have the same setup with the alternate logo, nothing too crazy. I also set up black versions of both of these jerseys, so in case you wanted to see what the black version looked like, I thought the black could be the secondary option, so they could use both and kind of use them interchangeably, I guess, and maybe one year they use more purple, one year they use more black. Then we have the purple alternate, and I really like when teams just use two color jerseys without like a stroke or anything. So for the purple and black alternates, I just went with purple and black, no white on the jersey. So you can see the purple jersey just has black text, and it gives it that darker feel, which I really like. And I also used an alternate script font for this one too, no logos on the chest, although I did include part of the mountain logo in the background, which I thought was a cool look. And I did the same for the road black, or I say it's the road black, it's set up as a road black, but both of these jerseys could be worn on the road or home. Finally, we have a jersey that I was really curious to see how it would look, and it's the all purple or kind of all lavender jersey for Colorado. And I used the alternate logo on the chest with the CR logo also imprinted there, and it's all lavender with pinstripes, which is a very unique look. It's similar to that Cubs jersey I did earlier too. This one has a hat to kind of match the jersey, which I'm a little iffy on, but I think this jersey would look really nice. I love the lavender. I tried to go like a little lighter purple, but I tried to avoid it looking like pink, so that was a challenge there. But I think this is super unique, and only the Rockies could pull it off. It's really hard to do anything for the Dodgers home jersey other than not touching it, which is what I did. For the road jersey, I also didn't touch it because I really like their simplistic home and the simplistic road to match. So the road and home are both very simple with just the text logos on the front. The alternate blue home jersey is a very clean design with their traditional baseball striping on the collar and chest, and overall very simplistic, nothing too crazy, which is very befitting of the Dodgers in my mind. I did alter the hat to have the white panels in the front. The road blue is the same setup but with the gray accents, which I think always enhance a jersey when you have the matching gray rather than white for the road. And this again has that kind of reflective text going on, and it also has a nice pattern in the background to give this jersey a more unique feel and just spice it up a bit so it's not your plain old blue jersey, and kind of separate it from the home blue a little bit more. Then we have the two more interesting jerseys, which is this first one, which is a all blue, kind of like a light blue. It's not quite a powder blue because I want it to be its own thing, but it's this alternate home jersey with the alternate script text across the front that says Los Angeles. I just thought this was a different vibe, a slightly different blue, but it's still pretty similar to their royal blue. It's just like a couple shades lighter, obviously. I thought the black jersey would be cool because of the LA hats that I've seen where I live in the East Coast. Most of them have been the black LA hats, which is really interesting because their royal blue is nice, but people really like the LA logo and they seem to really like black. So I thought I'd give them a black jersey with a cool little pattern going on in the background of this one. I thought this was a cool little design, which in real life, this would be like a texture design, not like an actual design. It'd just be differences in the fabric texture. So that's kind of what the thinking was there. Now, I had a lot to say about the Marlins jersey, so I actually made it into its own video called Thread Fix, where I talk about the whole process and ideas behind everything. So you can check that out on my channel. But to give the quick summary, I reverted back to their old teal and black color scheme because in my opinion, it's way better than any color scheme they've had since. Their current branding though is good, like their logos and everything looks nice, but I really love that teal, so you'll see I used a lot of it. Instead of the black logo on the chest and the black hat, I went for teal because it just pops. It looks so much nicer and it fits Florida in my opinion a lot better than whatever color scheme and uniforms they have now, or they've had since they moved to Miami really. Now for this home jersey, you could go with the pinstripes, which I did because I'm a big fan of the pinstripes, but the solid jersey too, looks good as well, so I wouldn't be opposed to calling this the home, but I do like the pinstripes, but you guys let me know which one you like better in the comments. The road jersey is a similar setup, the only difference being the collar trim on this one and obviously no pinstripes, but the teal is the more dominant color here. For their alternate home jersey, I decided to go back to one of my favorite jerseys the Marlins had, which were those pinstripe jerseys with the black sleeves, and I went with just the fish logo on the chest here, and obviously the other big thing here is the pink being brought in, and that's because I thought it'd be really cool to complete the Miami Vice look by bringing in pink as like the tertiary color for the Marlins. I think it fits them way better than their current blue and red that they wear. I think the teal and pink would be so cool. Obviously you have to be very subtle with the pink though, because it is a very dominant and like bright, loud color that a lot of baseball fans probably wouldn't like too much, but for me, I think it's really cool. Then we have several black and teal jerseys. So the home black, which is this one, features like the teal text and it's more teal dominant. Then the road black is reversed with the pink text. And I also went with like a cool little background on this one, which I didn't have in the Miami video, but it's something I'm playing around with, so this might not be there in the final version of this. The home teal version then features more white here, while the road teal version features more black and kind of like a darker look. And the hats all match these, so you could go with one of the blacks and one of the teals, but I included both because I liked them all, so that's why I did that. And I also threw together a pink jersey real quick just so you guys could see what it looked like. It's a little too bright and loud for me because I don't think it would really look that good in real life, but it could be like a one-off jersey, like a Mother's Day jersey or something like that, so I thought I would include it in the project anyway. I really like what the Brewers have recently gone to in their jersey design with the kind of the off-white color and the classic look to their uniforms with the simplistic box text and everything like that. I really like them with pinstripes though, so I added the pinstripes. Now I might be getting a little carried away with them, so maybe we go without them, but obviously this is just their current jersey and I think the pinstripes add a little something to it. But again, let me know what you guys think of the pinstripes down below. Now I actually had this jersey as a lighter blue like this. I was really torn because I wanted to mix up the amount of navy teams, but this jersey really looks better with navy in my opinion. So kind of last minute I switched this jersey to navy as well as the road. So you can see it's a similar thing going on. And I went with their alternate Milwaukee text, the alternate road text, because I think this looks better and should be like their main text for the road jersey. And I also added these little wheat elements on the sleeve striping. And then the home alternate is with that lighter blue, the classic blue, I guess. This was their classic color scheme back in the day. And this has the shoulder stripes that get cut off at like the halfway point when they meet these logos. And again, this jersey could go without the pinstripes, but again, for me, I think the pinstripes really look better for this one. The home blue jersey then is another navy jersey with like the yellow trim. And this one just features like a bit of a subtle wheat in the background, which I thought was a cool little design feature that you could include, and it'd be something a little subtler with the old Brewers logo here too. Then we have the all light blue or the powder blue jersey, and again it features the old Brewers logo. Because I really like this logo, I think they should still use it, and I think a jersey like this would be the perfect thing to use it on. The road blue jersey then is the lighter blue, the royal blue again, with that same like wheat trim striping going on. But then we have the yellow jersey, which is the same setup, and this one actually features a little bit of the wheat coming out of the text logo, which I thought was a cool little way to incorporate that here. For the Mets now, we start to get a little more different. So I thought it'd be really cool to incorporate side stripes into some of these jerseys, and the Mets are the first one where that really hits home. So we have these side stripes going along with their pinstripe jersey, and I really love when the Mets use just the royal blue and orange. Now I also switched the text logo to be mainly orange with the blue stroke on it rather than blue with the orange stroke, and you could go either way. I just thought I would mix it up and do something different for them. But other than that, the jersey is fairly similar to what they have. Obviously the side stripes are a huge change. It's a bit of a throwback, but I think modern teams could pull it off. There's also the home alternate, which is like the solid white rather than the pinstripes. The road jersey then is that same side stripe setup with some smaller stripes on the sleeves and collar, and their old New York script text or script logo, because I think this looks a lot better than their current away text. Their current away text, I've never liked it. I think it just doesn't look that great in my opinion. We have two blue jerseys for them. them, a home and a road, and the home is just the orange and blue, which again, not including any white or any third color. I think this looks so clean. And then the road blue is a little more out there with the side stripes and shoulder stripes a little bit. Now this one, I think we could get away without having the side stripes. So if you just had it like that, I think that's a good look as well. But we have these little orange flakes in this design too, which I think would be a really cool little accent to this blue jersey to make it really stand out. Now I do prefer the side stripes a little bit because I'm trying to make that like the Mets thing here in my project. I could see not having it too, which by the way, if you want to see the home jersey without side stripes, there you go. Still a good look. I had to give him an orange jersey too because orange is my favorite color, and I think this one would be less frequently worn, but I decided to go with like a New York City type theme because they are the Mets or the Metropolitans, so I feel like they need to have some sort of city theme. So we just have like a skyline trim on the sleeves and the hat. And finally, we had to give him a black jersey because I feel like the Mets are incomplete without a black jersey. My black jersey, I decided to go like with a bit of a darker theme, so we have a lot of the blue on black, which keeps it a bit darker, and then we have the bright orange NY chest logo, which is something a little bit different, and a bit of a shoulder design here, a bit of a gradient similar to what the Diamondbacks used to wear, but this is like more subtle because it's blue on black, kind of blends in together, doesn't stand out too much. And you could wear this as a home jersey too. I have it set up to be a road jersey. Now my team, the Phillies, I've actually seen online that people really don't like their home jersey, and it's been ranked in like the bottom 5 to 10 teams before, which blows me away. I absolutely love their pinstripe jersey. I think it's a really clean and good look. So for me, I'm not changing it. I did alter the blue on the stars of their logo from the royal blue to a lighter kind of powder blue because I think the powder blue jerseys are most associated with Philly, obviously because I'm a fan of theirs, and they're one of the first teams to kind of bring them back. So I think they should go to that blue instead of the royal blue because like I mentioned earlier, I want to mix up some of these teams that wear red and blue. The road jersey isn't too different from their current road jersey. I did add collar trim that's a little thicker, and the sleeve stripe trim is a little thicker than what they currently have. Also, I altered the color to be actually gray because their current road jerseys have a bit of a green hue to them, which is really ugly. The home alternate then is the pinstripe setup with the current P logo on the chest and the sleeve slash shoulder stripes. So this is like a throwback kind of jersey. It's similar to what they wore in like the 80s for the 80 championship. Of course, they wore the old logo there and they wore maroon. So you could make this jersey like this color, but I think it looks cool with the modern colors and the modern P there. Then we have the powder blue because of course, the only difference is again, the logo. I went with the modern logo because I think it'd be better to have the modern logo than the throwback logo, just so it feels like a more modern jersey. I don't like having old logos on jerseys typically, unless they feel like they're very modern. And I think it's weird to have multiple P logos. That's just me personally. You could throw the old logo on there too. I'm not too bothered really. The Phillies tried to introduce a red jersey a few years ago and they wore it for a couple seasons, but like I don't think anyone noticed because they were really bad. And I actually have never seen them play a game wearing a red jersey. So I did create one and I thought going with the bell on the chest would be something a little more different. And this jersey includes a little bit more of that lighter blue, which would be their secondary color in my case. And finally, we have a road red jersey, and something that I've done for a few teams here is make their road color jersey darker than their home color jersey. So like the Braves, I went with a darker blue for the road, and I did the same thing here, kind of going with their maroon for this road red, which would be a cool look. I think it'd be nice if they had a maroon jersey like this, or a burgundy jersey. I know they went with the all burgundy throwback the other year, and McCutchen looked great in it, but people didn't like it for some reason, so I avoided the all burgundy or all red look. And I think this would be something a little bit different. You could also wear this for a home jersey too, of course. The Pirates have obviously a fantastic color scheme, and for their home jersey, I didn't do too much. I added the thicker trim to the collar and sleeves that I've been doing a lot for a lot of these teams because I think it looks really good. I also went with the logo on the front that features the flat top, and I just think the bigger logo would look better on the home jersey. I think their Pirates across the chest now is a little too small. I think they could have something stand out a little more. And I believe it's also black, and I went with the yellow just so it has a little more pop. It's a little flashier, I guess. The road jersey then, I went with their Pittsburgh text from their black jersey because I think this script text looks really good, and I much prefer it than their current Pittsburgh text on their road grays. And I also went with the yellow hat here too because I thought I'd mix up the home to the road jersey a little bit. Speaking of that road black text logo. I did go with a black road jersey here. The current Pittsburgh road black is so good. I think it's just yellow text on the black jersey. I did add a bit of a gray stroke to my text, so it's a little different, and their real jersey is so good, so I was just going to remake it, but I thought I'd add a little something different. But the rest of the Pirates jerseys I have are all full color jerseys essentially. So we'll start with the all black jersey, which features shoulder stripes and side stripes, and this is kind of a throwback, kind of its own thing, but the text on the front is black with the yellow stroke because I really like the outlined look for this jersey. Then we have the all yellow jersey, which is set up basically like their home jersey, but obviously it's yellow, and I think an all yellow jersey is something that the Pirates could really pull off. And then that leads you into the yellow on black jersey, which this is basically a throwback with some different elements. I wasn't a fan of the striping on the hat that they had, so I thought they would just modify the striping a little bit, go with 2 stripes on the hat and sleeves. Padres recently went through a fantastic redesign, so I can't really change their look too much. So my only change on the home and away is the sleeve and collar trim. I just thought I'd do something a little more interesting, adding a few more stripes in there, as you can see, but the overall look is so good. I'm so glad they went with the changes that they did. For their alternates, I was inspired by some of their classic jerseys, so you can see we have an all white jersey with the brown sleeves, same striping on the collar and sleeve trim, and we also have the brown version of this with the yellow sleeves. So I'm sure these will look familiar to their classic brown and yellow when they used to wear it, just with modern day logos. I also went with a home alternate, which could also be a road alternate because it is like a tan color, so maybe it'd be the home, maybe it'd be the road, I don't know. But I went with the SD logo on the chest, and everything else is quite simple, and it features no pinstripes, so this would be like the more simplistic jersey to give them something a little bit different. And then we have an all yellow jersey again, but if the Padres went with an all pastel yellow jersey, just like this softer yellow, I think it'd be really good, and it works with the brown, and I just overall, I think this jersey would be very unique. It gives me like cookies and cream or like chocolate and cream vibes. It kind of makes me hungry, but I think it's a pretty interesting look. I'm a big fan of the Giants color scheme. My favorite color is orange, so orange and black is just so good to work with. You'll notice I went with some thicker sleeve striping again on the sleeve trim and the collar, but I also went with the traditional chest striping here, but it goes from orange to black here at the bottom, and at the top it's the black and orange, and at the bottom it's black and black. So that's like a subtle little feature that I thought would be cool to include. Also, the socks featured the Golden Gate Bridge on them as the main design feature. San Francisco's road jerseys, I think, have really weak road text, so I went with this script text logo because I just think it looks really good as opposed to their current one. I also added the Golden Gate Bridge again here in this like underline. Then we have this home alternate with their classic Giants text logo on this really steep angle, and for whatever reason I thought like a checkered pattern down the sides would just like really fit the Giants. So I don't know why or where that idea came from, but I think it looks pretty cool. This would be very unique, and it could be a thinner stripe than I have shown here, but I had to get it visually here on this mock-up. Then we have a home black, obviously on those off-white pants, and this is fairly simple. The only real design feature is the thick sleeve trim. Then we have the home alternate orange, and this just features even more unique sleeve trim, kind of with like this checker thing going on here and on the collar. Then we have 2 more jerseys that are both another black and another orange, and they kind of reflect each other, so they're reverses of each other. So we have the black, and this has the orange sleeves as a gradient, and then we have the orange, which is the same thing, obviously just reversed. Now these could just be like batting practice or spring training jerseys because they don't really feel like real jerseys, but I made them and I thought I would show them off anyway. The Cardinals were one of the more challenging teams to redesign. I decided to give them their classic chest trim look on the main home jersey rather than just having a blank white jersey. I think it looks a little bit better than what they currently have. The road is the same setup, but I decided to incorporate a little bit of the yellow because they have so much yellow in their logo and they never use it. So similar to what I did with the Braves, I thought I would include it here on the road jersey a little bit. There's also an alternate road that doesn't feature any of the yellow, so you could see what it would look like with just the red, and really I'm kind of torn on them. They both look good. Then we have the powder blue jersey because this is actually one of my favorite powder blue jerseys of the powder blue jerseys. Obviously the Phillies are my favorite, but this one with the chest trim, I just think it looks really nice, especially with the yellow bat. Then we have a home red option, which is a very simple jersey. We have the chest trim and it's all red and white, but we kind of reversed the chest and hat logo, so we put the St. Louis logo on the chest and we put the Cardinal on the hat. hat. And then the road red jersey brings in some of that powder blue, which I thought this would be a really cool look, putting the red on blue. It's something very different. I made the logo blue as well, although it doesn't make sense because the Cardinals are blue, so I guess they're the Blue Jays now, but I think you could change this. Yeah, there you go. You could do something like that, and I think it'd be a pretty cool look. And finally, we have the Nationals. Now, the Nationals kind of have a new look recently with this new text logo, and they've been wearing a new hat logo, which has looked pretty good. And I tried to actually revert back to like the Expos color scheme for them here, but it didn't look good. They have to have the navy and red and basically look like an American flag. I decided to incorporate the DC flag into their design, similar to what I did with Chicago. So you can see the flag on the socks and the sleeves here, and this new text logo on the front, and I think this jersey looks really clean. The hat was actually inspired by the Expos hats because they had the multicolored panels and everything with the blue, red, and white. The road jersey then is the same setup, and you'll actually notice that the road gray is basically a blue gray. Then the home alternate is the same as the home basically, but just red and white with minimal navy, and the hat is the white front panels. And you can see the difference here. It's a different feeling. When the Nationals first came to DC, they actually separated the home and road by wearing more red at home and more navy on the road. So this is what inspired this jersey. So this is more red. Then we have the home red jersey, which is again similar to the home jersey, just with the red top and some of the colors reversed. You can see nothing too crazy or different from this jersey. Then we have the home red, which just puts the W logo on the chest and is again a similar setup. This does have a star pattern in the background, which I thought would be a cool little subtle pattern for the Nationals to have. So all these jerseys so far, pretty simple. I think they all look good, but when we get to the road blue, this is actually my favorite. So we have the alternate DC logo, and then we have the DC flag here, which is the same setup as the Cubs. And I just really like this setup. Like I mentioned for the Cubs, it's something very unique, but it really works for a baseball jersey in my opinion. And that caps off all of these jersey designs, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the jerseys that I did, and let me know what your favorite one is. The full project will be down below on Behance, where you can look through and see all the jerseys in a little more detail than you did in this video. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more. Let me know what other leagues I should redesign, what teams' jerseys I should fix. Stuff like that. I'd love to do it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.